Okay, this last lesson of this module, we are going to see about handling the objection, whether you are having a DM conversation, a messenger conversation, or on the triage call, you will likely face the objections that the prospect and the ideal client will have. Maybe it related to money, maybe related to time, any value, or anything related to your program. Objections will be there and they will arise time to time. So let's understand how to handle the triage or the messenger objections. In this lesson, we are going to cover three things: the objection handling framework, the question handling framework, and the most common objections and how to handle those objections that we are going to see. Now, let's see first the objection handling framework. So here's the objection handling frameworks. If you can see, you can use this whenever there is an objection made and if you are unsure what to say on the spot, right? So step number one is neutralize. You have to get on the same side. Always agree to them whatever the objection is to remove the tension from their end. In simple words, what this means is you just agree with your client to make them feel heard and understood. This will help you to reduce any resistance they might have. For example, if the clients say that I'm not sure I have the budget for this program to invest right now, I don't have finances right now to invest in this program, then to neutralize it, you can say, I completely understand. Managing finances is important and it's great that you are being cautious about your budget. So you are agreeing to whatever the reason or objection they are giving you. That is the step number one. Step number two is secure the commitment. You have to get the yes from them. You have to re-secure their commitment to fixing their problem. Now, all the conversation long before giving you this objection, they have restate their problems. They have said their problems. They have talked to you about their problems. They have already said what their problem is, right? And they already have shown commitment that they need to solve that problem, right? So you just need to re-secure their commitment to fixing that problem. You have to remind them of the issue they want to solve and get them to confirm that solving is still a priority for them. Okay, you have to remind them that the issue they want to solve and get them to confirm that that issue, that problem is still a priority for them. So example, you can say something like, just to clarify, you mentioned that you are struggling with getting high ticket clients. Okay, is that still something you want to fix? Then they will reply yes. So you want to get that S, that secure commitment, right? Again, we will see examples. The third one is challenging them. You have to challenge them with an example or analogy or a story. You have to get a leverage of stories. You can use questions, analogies, stories to make them sell you on why they need to do this again and again and why they can't wait any longer. So at this stage, you use a story, an analogy, or a series of questions to help them realize the urgency and the importance of taking action now, right? For example, if they have an objection of the budget, the same budget thing, then you can say something inside to challenge them is that you have to give an analogy or examples. You can say something like, imagine you are on a crossroads. On one path, you are continue without making any changes and things stay the same. And on the other, you invest in this solution and start attracting the clients you want. What do you think will help you if you choose to wait longer to solve this problem? Then they will open up. Then they feel like you're challenging their thinking, right? This is where your objection is crushed. Your objection is handled. Then move to the fourth step and take the lead. Plant the suggestion in their mind. Make them believe the right thing to do is to buy now by framing it through a question or a statement. Finally, you have to guide them towards the decision by suggesting that taking action now is the best choice for them. You can say something like, considering how important is it for you to start seeing these changes, don't you think it makes sense to take this step now and start working on getting those high ticket clients? So when you use these 4 steps, this objection handling framework, you can handle objections effectively by first neutralizing any resistance, securing commitment, challenging them to see the urgency, and leading them to the right direction. Okay, now you will not master this or you will not understand this at the first stance when you are looking at this or watching this video. But when you master this, when you see examples, when you utilize this into your, when you get an objection every time, okay, then you will master this slowly, right? So let's see an example of this objection handling framework. So the scenario here is the client objects due to time commitment, right? So your client says that I'm really busy right now. I'm not sure I have the time to commit to this. This is a time-based objection that your client gives you, right? So in step one, you have to neutralize, getting on the same side. So you can say something like that. I completely understand. Time management is crucial and it's important to ensure you can commit fully to something new. Okay, you are getting on the same side. You are making them feel seen, feel heard, feel understood with this state. Then you can secure the commitment by getting them a yes. Now using the analogy and all those things. Just you have to reiterate, reassure the problem that they have shown you. So you can say, just to make sure we are on the same page, you mentioned earlier that you having trouble getting consistent leads and that's impacting your business. Is that still something you want to address? Then client will say, yes, it's definitely something I need to fix, right? Then the third one is you have to challenge them with an analogy or example. You have to get leverage of the problem they need to solve right now. So you can say, think of it like this. If you had a leaking pipe at home, you might be busy, but you would find the time to fix it because the damage would only get worse if it left unattended. Similarly, investing time now to solve your lead generation problem can prevent more significant issues down the road. What do you think would happen if you delay addressing the issue? Okay. Then client would say something like this. I suppose the problem would just get worse and I'd keep missing out on potential business. This is where your job is done. But you have to take the lead and plant the new suggestion into their mind. You can say something like this. Given how critical is it for your business to start getting consistent leads, wouldn't it be worthwhile to allocate some time now to implement a solution that can bring long-term benefits? Right? You have planted a suggestion into their head now. Okay. So the client will say, yes, I think it would be worth it. I'll find a way to make for this. This is how you crush the objection. So by using this structured approach, this objection handling framework, you help the client recognize the importance of addressing the issue properly, despite their initial concern about the time commitment. Right? So this is how you use this objection handling framework. Again, I'll say you will not master this at once. You'll have to identify, write down each and every objection you have, put it into this framework and see how you come up with the questions and all those things. Then slowly utilize it and implement it in your messenger script, in your triage calls. Then you will master this slowly by having conversation with more and more clients, right? So the next thing is the question handling framework. Now, how to handle the questions that you get from your clients, right? The step number one is evaluate them. Make their question valid. Make sure that the person feels good about asking their question. It's important they know their question is valued and that you are genuinely interested in helping them. For example, if someone asked a question, right, just simply say that that's a good question and I'm really glad that you asked it. It shows you are thinking deeply about this. So you have to understand them, right? Make them feel understood again. Okay. Second one is to clarify. You need to find the source, the hidden concern. What is their concern about asking this question? So ask them to elaborate on their question first. This will help you to understand what they are really concerned about. Oftentimes, a question is just a cover for a deeper worry or uncertainty, right? For example, you can say, can you tell me more about what you mean by that? I'd love to understand your perspective about that better. Then after their reply, you can follow up with them like, so it sounds like you're really wondering if this solution will work for you on the specific situation. Is that correct? So you want to deep down by asking clarifying questions about the question they have already asked you. Okay. Then you have to reverse the roles. Take their thoughts on the answer. Okay. Ask them to share their own thoughts on the answer. This will help them articulate their concerns and often lead them to realize they already know the answer. Before answering their question, you can ask them that what do you think should be the answer? What do you think the answer to that? Why do you think that might be a case, right? You can reverse the roles. Instead of you answering the question, make them answer their question itself. Take their point of view. Okay, then in the step number 4, take the lead and then plant the suggestion in their mind. Guide them towards the right direction. You have to frame it in a way that makes them feel confident about moving forward right now. You can ask something like that. So based on what you are said, what you asked me, it sounds like moving forward with this is the best option for you right now. How do you feel about taking the next step? Again, this framework you will master and you will understand once you started handling the questions that your ideal clients have. So whatever questions, whatever objections you get throughout your sales call, throughout your messenger or DM scripts, write down each and every questions and put it into these frameworks. If you get a question, put it in this question handling framework. If you get an objection, put it inside the objection handling framework and see how you get better at handling those objections and handling those questions. All right. So let's see an example here of question handling framework. So the scenario is clients have a question that I'm not sure if this program will work for my specific needs. So the first step is to evaluate them. You can say that's a really important question. I'm glad you brought it up. It shows you are really considering how that fits into your life, right? Then step number 2 is clarify. You have to source the hidden concern. You can say that, can you tell me more about what you mean by specific needs? What particular concerns do you have? Then clients will say, well, I've tried other programs before and that don't really address my unique situation. Then you will say that, I see. So your real concern is whether this program will be tailored enough to meet your individual needs. Is that right? So when you ask a clarifying question, you get the exact point of view, exact answer, what they needed. Then you can move on to the third step. That is, you want to reverse the role. So you can say, what do you think makes a program effective for your tailored situation? What are the key elements you are looking for? The client will say, I think it needs to be flexible and offer personalized support. Now, this is where you take the lead and plant the suggestion. It sounds like you value flexibility and personalized support, which are both core concepts of our program. Given what you have shared, it seems like our program could be a great fit for you. How do you feel about giving it a try? So this is a simple example. Try to address every question, every objection by having a list of that, right? Now we are going to see some common objection scenarios and how to handle them. Okay, at all times, your business, your prospects, and audience will throw unexpected opportunities or challenges and objections at you. You have to recognize those opportunities and deal with them the best way possible. So let's see some common scenarios or common objection scenarios prospects have and how to handle them. Okay, the first one here is when people try to pitch you. This is most often. Most of the people will try to pitch you first. The most important thing you need to do is end the conversations and focus on your perfect fit leads, perfect fit clients. You cannot convert someone with intentions to pitch you into buying from you, right? How likely is it that you will invest high ticket when you are prospecting, right? So save your time and energy on good leads that are already looking or open to receive your services, your offers, right? So when people try to pitch you, simply ignore them and the conversations focus on your perfect fit clients. Next scenario is the people have objection or question like, I want to start in 3 months. Okay, simply send them a voice note to jump on a call. Okay, send them a voice note to jump on a call this week so they can get a feel for you as a coach instead of waiting for 3 months to find out something. All right, so you can send an example voice note like, hey Chris, of course, no pressure at all. I was thinking if you want to start in 3 months time, we can still have a call this week just to go over exactly what I do and if I can help you in the first place. Then at least you know what you are working towards. Again, no pressure, just want to make sure you are moving in the right direction as fast as possible. So this kind of voice messages you can see, okay, and carry forward that conversation on the call, and they will open up with many things and you will clarify many things with them, and this is how you book the call or enroll clients. Okay, the next objection is I am working with another coach. This is the most objection. Even if they are not working, they will say that I'm working with another coach. Anyway, you have to find out that when they started with that coach and if they got the results they expected when they signed up for that coach. Okay. If not, you can propose to get on a call with them to help them move forward. Have a call like any other. If they are keen on working with you, propose they cancel the other payment installments that I have with the earlier coach they are working with. If people have not booked results yet with their current program or coach, there is a massive opportunity for you to help them, right? So help them make the right choices for themselves and their businesses. Don't think like you're stealing any other people's client. If they don't get result in that program, if you can help them, then you are just helping them for making them the right choices for their business, for their life, for themselves, right? So for example, you can ask them, hey, that's amazing. Congrats on investing in yourself. And then send, how do you like their program so far? So they will open up with the things about everything that they are experiencing in their coaching journey with that coach. Okay. So you proceed to ask questions about if they got the results they expected by this time, etc. Right? You can ask this type of questions. Then moving on to the next objection. Some people will ask, what's different about you compared to other coaches? What's different about you compared to other coaches? What's different in your program? What's different or what differently you're doing? Okay. Now there is no plug and play answer to this or pre-written answer to this. It depends on the information you have from the person to make sure anything you say will please them and it's not something they have been burned on before, right? So your best bet is to go back to the conversation and phrase it in their benefit around how you will solve their biggest pain points that they are sharing with you. But if you don't know, the safest move you can make is to shift it back to the guarantee to be helping them until they have results. For example, you can say, I mean, the biggest thing always really is for me to build a relationship on that's more valuable than anything. Okay, then send. I've noticed there are lots of big programs out there that do really well, but where people end up like numbers instead of genuine support and help. So instead of giving you methods, information or strategies, I genuinely want to make sure you're going to move the needle by helping you execute. So not just being your coach, but also making you a valued friend who I will give guarantee help until you have those results you signed up so far. So you can send these kind of messages, but make sure you give answer to this based on whatever conversations you have. Don't just say that my program had this extra, these features are. Don't say that. Based on the problems of your client that they have opened up, that you have to make sure that whatever they have tried before, whatever they have experienced before, you have to make sure that you don't repeat that. Okay, then they will never end up buying from, never end up buying from you, right? So make sure whatever you are saying to them, it is aligned to them, whatever they have tried before, whatever they have not tried before, which is unique, and you can answer this question or objection, right? Moving on to the next one. What is your pricing? What is your pricing? This is the most common question or objection that you get on messengers. Now you have to be direct with the price by giving a range. Okay, it's good because if they book and after you mentioned the price, they won't give you a price objection, right? If not, it saves you a sales call with someone that can't invest in you. So use your lowest payment plan option and the highest price point as a range. Okay, so for example, as you can see that it's tough to give you an exact price because we need to jump on a strategy session for me to see what exactly you need. I have programs that range from $500 all the way to $5,000 depending on what you need. But most importantly, we never want money to be the reason why someone can't get started, because I am in the business of changing lives. More than happy to walk you through it on a call. Are you free to call later this week? So simply you can give them a range and ask them to jump on a call by friendly telling them that you are not in business to just make money. You are here to change people's lives, right? Next objection. Can you send me your website or more information first? Now this is good because they like you as a person already. And now They just need more information to consider working with you. Now you have to explain why you don't have a website. If you have a website, you can share with them, but you have to explain why you don't have a website if you don't have, and find out what types of information they likely have. You can send that information or resources about it to them on the messenger. All right. For example, you can say, I don't have a website at the moment and I am using Facebook mainly for my business. What kind of information would you like to see? Okay. Alternatively, you can say it's better for them to explain it on the call. You can say that I am happy to talk about it here, but it depends on where you are currently to see what will help you the most at this minute. Regardless of whether you become a client or not, I would love to see if I can give you some direction with the X problem you just mentioned on a quick call so you can move forward. So you have to clarify what exact information they need, right? Then moving on to the seventh objection or the question, can you show me your client testimonials, right? This is the most objection people get. Now, this is also good as they are seriously thinking about investing in you, but they need more assurance that it will be a right decision as they are afraid that they might not get results. So if you have client testimonials, send them over. Alternatively, you can propose to connect them with any of your clients. You can then create a chat with one of your clients where you will introduce to one another and let them sort this rest. Okay. So if you don't have testimonials, explain it by directing it to your authority in the industry as well. Right. So for example, you can say, I'm actually just starting out with my exclusive one-on-one mentorship. I've been in the peak performance industry for more than 3+ years. Okay. And you can say, so you can say something like that. So I'm going to start this program with a limited number of people to give them real insights and hands-on mentorship on that exact method and entrepreneurship like him are using until they succeed with it. Would love to have you in. So this kind of, you have no testimonials, you can send this message. If you have testimonials, just send them the testimonials. So it's make sure that you store your testimonials in one place, right? And then the eighth one is, I have to wait until I have money to invest. Now, this is the great objection. They are looking to invest in you, but just not now. Okay. So ask them when they think they have the money and how they plan to save money to invest in you. Okay, based on what their answer, you can still have a call with them. Okay, if it takes 2+ months, propose to stay in touch on Messenger or DM, and then they can ask any questions they have. Okay, if it takes a couple of months for them to have the resources or the money itself. Okay, so follow the negative, positive, and then ask framework. Example, you can say, no worries, appreciate your transparency. When do you think you have finances available to invest back into yourself and your business? Simply ask these kind of questions, right? So they will open up, they will ask, and then set up a follow-up meeting after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, right? Then the next objection, when the conversation is going great but off track. Yes, sometimes this is not an objection. This is a scenario where your conversations will be great sometimes, but it feels like it's going off track. So what should you need to do? But eventually, congratulations to you that they like you, or else they would not have these conversations with you. Be direct with the questions, how they would find it if you would coach them, and then book a call to go over the details. For examples, you can say, I've been meaning to ask you something as I've been seeing the quality of questions you have been asking and you're wanting to make this work. I think I'd be great to work together as coach next to you. How do you feel about that? The biggest thing for me always is to build a relationship on that's more valuable than asking, so that not just being your coach, but also making your valued friend. Okay. So if the conversation is falling off, you can simply send and get to the point. But don't worry about this scenario. It happens most often. Okay. Just make sure that you are having great conversations with them. Be direct with the questions that you are asking them, how they would find it if you would coach them, and then book a call to get more details. Right? So these were some objections, common objections that you have encountered, I have encountered, and I have created some scripts around that. Again, the objection handling script, whether it's on Messenger or Triage framework script, is attached below this lesson. So go through that. You will find a document where you will have all the links to all the resources, the triage script, the messenger framework script, the 4-step DM mastery, objection handling, the follow-up script, whatever we have seen inside this module from lesson 1 till now, all the resources that I've mentioned, I have promised to give you. All are listed below this video in a single document. So go download that first, right? Okay, so thank you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.